call Der Aaye Durust Aaye, but something has been started and it is a positive note. Being in opposition, it is not always that we have to blame the ruling government. But we are facing right now, there's two problems we are facing. One, the Modi government is not serious enough from last 80 days. And now I don't understand why the Prime Minister of India is not allowing himself to come inside the parliament and give a speech on Manipur or make it solve. Now, we are talking about the third term as well. Yesterday, I heard the Prime Minister that he was very positive about the third term, whereas as of now, India is not in a functional state. It is, you see, most of the states are not in a functional state. There's some problem or the other. You can't deny that. But there is something called positiveness, which is not coming from the Prime Minister. What we want, what is the opposition asking for? Are we asking for too much? The Minister of Council is headed by the Prime Minister. So why should we listen to Piyush Goyal,
Tausif, I don't know if you heard,
or Amit Shah?
I don't know if you heard Prahlad Joshi and the presiding officer. One second, Tausif. I don't know if you heard the afternoon's proceedings. I was there in Parliament at around 3 o'clock when, in fact, the presiding officer at that point of time and also the Parliamentary Affairs Minister said that 10 days' time is available with the Speaker to take a decision. 10 days are at his disposal. And the presiding officer specifically said that within 3 to 10 days, a decision would be taken. That's the prerogative of the Speaker. That's the prerogative of the Speaker, says the government. But let's not divert from this massive development. Let's for a moment just discuss.
I totally respect the parampara of the Parliament that we have to wait 10 days. That's what I'm telling you, that Der Aaye Durust Aaye. But something has been started which is positive as of now.
Let's get reactions, please. Let's get reactions on this. I want to also bring in Siddharth Yadav, spokesperson of the BJP. Siddharth Yadav, Der Aaye Durust Aaye carry TMC. How would you react to him? Because this is, of course, one case. It's a landmark case that certainly shocked the conscience of the nation. But there are other, about 6,000 FIRs, I believe, that have been filed in Manipur as well.
Yes, definitely, Madhav. I feel it's a very important development, and you have reported, your channel has reported it very rightly. The developments are going to fall in further as well, because the government is very serious about what we are doing in the state. Be it the 2 months of violence, we made sure that the Home Minister was there, he camped there. The forces, the central forces, 40,000 of our armed men were there, and they were trying to ensure that no violence happens. But in an utter shame activity, we saw that such a shameful act happened, and now definitely all such actions are being taken so that the perpetrators of such a crime can be put to justice. But I would also want to object to what my friend from TMC was just saying. He said that India is not in a functional state. I object to that, and it's a very serious allegation to make. It's a baseless allegation to make. India is in a very progressive state right now. We are progressing day by day. Probably TMC wants India not to be in a functional state, but India definitely is in a functional state. I want to ask them, when was India in a functional state? In 1975, when the emergency was imposed? Or the 10 years of rule when we saw 5 governments? We have a stable government in the center. The people are ready for development. Right. We are seeing development in all sectors. It is very unfair for a political party, and I would say today, a very unserious political party like TMC to come out and say that India is not in a functional state. Probably you want so, but that is not the case.
All right. Many hands going up. I'm going to allow Tausif to respond to that. But Tausif, one of the things that you said, one must look at also a very important announcement coming in of 36,000 forces coming in, a buffer zone that is to be created between the fighting communities. This is a massive step which could perhaps be decisive in terms of ensuring peace in the valley, which has perhaps been elusive for the past 2.5 months. So a big decision on that count also that has been taken, Tausif.
Before I jump the gun, Madhav, it is very straight that I'm not going to back out with my statement. Again, I'm saying when you talk about third term, you need to fix your own country, and it's not in a functional state. Because why? Because as you sow, so as you reap. Aapne jo boya, aapne wahi dekhoge aap. Because two weeks back, they were attacking Bengal, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, and other state that is not in a functional state. But they don't talk about the BJP rule state. So if you want to talk about the non-ruling state from BJP and you want to attack the other 6 states, so what? You really think it's in a functional state?
Bengal is not India.
Just because it is not ruled by BJP, just because it is ruled by TMC, Congress, and other regional parties, so that states are not in a functional state. So you should be accounted as a Prime Minister that your country is not in a functional state, and you should not see Mungeri Lal ke Haseen Sapne. Aap Mungeri Lal ke Haseen Sapne
Okay, gentlemen, please wait with me. Please bear with me for a minute. Before I go across to Kailash Adhikari and other spokespersons who are there.